Hello, hello. It is Tammy with Cheers to Creativity. Tip you down so you see a little more of this. And my idea with this one is I just want some colors to just kind of be dripping down. Now, this is my watercolor set. Yep, my watercolor set is as messy as my desk is today. And before I start with my watercolors, what I like to do is prime my watercolors. And it's very easy to do. All I'm going to do is take a spritz bottle and just spritz them, and it helps activate them, okay? I also have a little puddle right here of water so I can use that later. Now, this is just regular watercolors, so they're your normal colors. This is what we're going to kind of emulate for this first project. This one, I really wanted to just kind of do some hills in the background. You could make these trees or something else. And I'm going to kind of give myself an idea that there's that top of this mountain. And I'm going to pick up a little of this softer blue color. I'm tapping it on my paper towel so that I have a little more control of where the paint's going to go. It's fun to just get an idea of different variations, more and less paint. I've got to move this out of the way or I'm going to end up with paint all over it as well. I decided I kind of liked having a little bit of this shimmer in the sky. And I'm going to come back in with my regular watercolors. And I think I'm going to pick up kind of a bluey color, something like that. And let's just kind of lay in the idea that this is the beginning of this mountain range, or this hill. Okay. And I'm just going to let it get less and less as I go down, making this mountain range go a little further down. And I'm just going to kind of pull up and not being too particular. I'm not even worrying that they look exactly like trees. I'm giving them the idea that there might be some trees there, okay? Up and down. Just a little bit of something happening. Okay? I'm going to pick up a little, just straight, a little more blue. Maybe go into this softer blue over here. I'm just going to add just touches of this. I add them over that pink that was already there. It kind of turns a little purple. Let's leave a little color in here. Again, keeping it super, super soft. Now, I've got a ground area, but I know I'm going to be bringing in some flowers. So I think I'm going to grab some purple. And this, again, is this purple from my watercolor set. And I'm just going to start pulling in just a little bit of what I'm going to think of as ground area. Picked up a little darker green. And you get to kind of get to play with your colors a little bit as you experiment with whether it's watercolors or even regular paints. We could, like I said, could do the same thing with acrylic paints. I want to add a transfer, so I'm going to make sure what I have done is dry. Like you could do this background that I just did and add a little leprechaun and possibly maybe a rainbow and have a St. Patrick's Day project. All right, so I'm peeling it off. I'm just going to kind of position it about there. Okay. I know this is a little bigger than I will need for a framed piece, but I think we'll be okay. We're going to go ahead and use one of our transfer tools. I make sure we're not leaving any of it behind. So let me see what we get going. All right, cute as he is, we're going to come back and add a few more flowers though. Then I'm going to start pulling a bunch of these greens. Now, I will tell you, watercolor does not cover on top of our transfers as well as our regular acrylic, but it doesn't mean we can't use it, okay? We just kind of pulling different shades of green first. So he's kind of he's sitting in our grass. Now I want to bring some more purples in, so I'm going to put oops, that's all a little thick. Remember, I got a little dark. Remember I said I can just use straight water and I can smear that around and make it blend. Maybe they got bits of leaves coming up off of them. Well, not maybe, I guess they do. It's a little loosey-goosey, but that's okay. That's kind of what we wanted. And I think that looks pretty good. Isn't it sweet? Now, the way I would frame this out, first I'm going to hit it with a blow dryer just to make sure he's good and dry. going to be pretty darn close. I think we'll be okay. Let's see what we can do. I might have to add a little piece to it, but let's just use this, and just for kicks and giggles, I should use a pencil. Don't have a pencil handy, so I'm just going to loop around here. I'm going to make it work. Promise. Okay. So I'm just going to take that. I'm just going to snip this around. It's a little short, which means I'm going to have to add something, but that's okay. Okay. Let me put my glass back into my frame. Set this in here. I know it's going to be a tiny bit short. And stick these on. And you get the idea that we have this framed bunny, and I'm just going to come back down here and add a little more grass to that sweet little bunny. All right. So we played with regular watercolors. Let's play with acrylic paint for a second. I want these to be bright colors. So let's have a little bit of purple. Okay. Boom. We're going to need just a dot of these colors. I'm going to grab a bright blue. These are our regular acrylic paints. I'm going to grab, and I'm just going to let it start to fall down. It's going to get lighter and lighter. Down even further. Just so we have these drips of color, okay? Remember, even though it's regular acrylic, if it's still wet, I can still move it quite a bit. Another little more purple here, I think. If it's too streaky or too dark, I just can come in here and scrub with some clean water. Blend those colors. I think I'm going to pick up a little bit of that tea berry color. Something a little different. I want to set it aside because I want to do something different. We may come back to that. To be thin. So again, I'm adding water to this. Nice and thin. And I want to tap it on my paper towel so I have a little more control. I just want this to be very nice and light. I'm picking this up. I'm going to pick up some other colors in here too. This I'm doing on that gesso back. Grab, just a second, I'm going to grab a little more darker color right up here. And make it and add more layers to it. But for this, I'm going to kind of come right about here. And I'm purposely, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do the parts that are the branch. Catching the main branch. Remove our stencil. Okay, set it aside for a second. So this is this gray color. For them. Almost like a little bit of a baby's breath, just kind of sticking up to here. I'm just gonna have this. Just think the butterfly is a great representation of spring and renewal, and those colors. There it is. Very, very sweet. Welcome spring. Like I said, I will just add something to the edges of this. I'm going to bring back our very drippy background. And what I am going to do is I am going to, you certainly could add anything to this, but I think our little birds, and these guys are sold out again, but remember, wait to keep checking because you just may be able to secure a set of them if you haven't already. And I'm thinking I was going to have time to do them or not. So we're going to set her right in the middle. Peel this off. Stick it down right there. Her fun little glasses. And then we will probably be ready in just a moment here to look for some winners. Okay, we gotta go. We can't lose any of these little lines up here. We're not going to be judgmental. It could be a guy too. All right, let's just grab a little bit of green. I don't know if that green it looks like it's a little bit of a brighter green. So let's grab something more. This looks good. And I am just going to use the stencil brush I had out just so we can, oops, a little heavy. Make sure she's sitting in some grass. Maybe we'll lighten that up with a little bit of water just so it blends in a little more. I pick up a little bit of that and just pull a couple little bits of grass. I hope you had fun seeing some different ways that we can use some watercolor type backgrounds on our projects that I can misplace in a heartbeat. We did this one with Welcome Spring, A Time for Renewal. And so we kind of did our own little flowers. We kept the background super soft and we added a little transfer. And we also did that with our example of the mountains. And have a great night, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.